You got to stop waiting for someone else to speak life over you. You got to stop depending on your friends, your boss, your coach, your parents, your partner to validate who you are. Listen to me, you've been giving away too much power, waiting for someone else to crown you worthy. But I'm telling you today, you've got to learn how to speak blessings over yourself. Speak them every day. Speak them in the dark. Speak them when nobody believes in you. Speak them when your back is against the wall. Because when you do that, it will change your entire life.
See, most people are walking around like they're cursed because all they do is curse themselves with their own words. I'm not smart enough. I'm too late. I don't deserve that opportunity. I can't lose weight. I'll never be successful. I always mess up. You keep feeding your spirit that poison, and then you wonder why nothing grows in your life. You wonder why the doors stay closed. You wonder why you're stuck in the same place year after year. I'll tell you why. Because your mouth is speaking against your destiny. But if you flip the script, if you start waking up every morning and saying, I am blessed, I am favored, I am chosen, I am built for this, I am equipped, I am rising, I am ready, I am strong. If you start saying that, I promise you, you'll feel something shift inside. It won't be overnight. It won't be magic, but it will be momentum. It will be light. It will be energy. And eventually it will be transformation. Because when your words change, your life changes. Let me be real with you. The world is already loud with negativity. Turn on the TV, scroll through your feed, listen to the noise. It's all fear, drama, and doubt. So if you're not speaking blessings over yourself, you're drowning in someone else's poison. That's why you got to protect your mind, protect your spirit. You got to become your own biggest encourager, not in arrogance, in confidence. In truth, because you were created for greatness, but greatness doesn't bloom in self-hate. It blooms in faith, in self-talk, in discipline, in declarations. I need you to declare it even when your situation doesn't match. Speak blessings when you're broke. Speak blessings when you're heartbroken. Speak blessings when you're overlooked, underestimated, or unheard. Because the moment you speak it, you start to align yourself with something greater than what you see. You start walking like it's already done. You start believing like it's already yours. You start fighting like the victory is already won. Because spiritually it is. And let me tell you something. Words create worlds. God didn't build the universe with his hands. He spoke it into existence. And if you're created in his image, what does that tell you? It tells you that your words matter. That what you speak into your life becomes the seeds you plant. So stop planting weeds. Stop cursing your own soil. Start speaking life. Start planting vision. Start watering your future with faith. The words you speak have more power than you realize. Every sentence that comes out of your mouth, especially the ones you say about yourself, is either building your life up or tearing it down. Most people don't understand that their reality is shaped not just by what they do, but by what they say. The internal dialogue you repeat daily is constructing your mindset, shaping your habits, influencing your mood, and ultimately creating your destiny. If you consistently speak defeat, doubt, and fear, don't be surprised when your life starts to reflect that. On the other hand, when you start speaking blessings, when you start saying things like, I am strong, I am worthy, I am capable, I am chosen, everything begins to shift. Your environment might not change right away, but your perspective does, and that is the first step toward changing your life. You cannot continue to speak negatively about your life and expect it to go in a positive direction. Words are powerful tools. They are seeds. And every time you speak, you're planting something into the soil of your life. Now the question is, are you planting weeds or are you planting fruit-bearing trees? Many people walk around speaking words like, I'll never make it, I'm just not good enough, things never work out for me, or I don't deserve more. And then they wonder why life feels so hard, so heavy, and so hopeless. It's because their words have aligned them with defeat instead of victory. They've unknowingly partnered with their pain instead of their purpose. But you can change that. You don't need to wait for a perfect moment or a motivational video to begin. Right now, you can shift your life just by shifting your speech. When you begin to declare truth over yourself, when you say, I am more than a conqueror, I'm walking into purpose, something good is coming my way, you activate something deep inside of you. You align your mindset with hope. And hope is the fuel of transformation. Hope gives you the strength to try again, to keep moving forward, to rise even when life knocks you down. It all begins with what you're saying to yourself, day in and day out. Speaking blessings doesn't mean ignoring your reality. It doesn't mean pretending everything is fine when it's not. It means you're choosing to speak life into dry places. You're choosing to believe that your current condition is not your final destination. Even when things look impossible, your words can open doors. Your speech can shift your attitude, and your attitude can shift your behavior. Before long, that change in behavior starts changing your outcomes. And it all starts with one decision: to stop speaking defeat and to start speaking destiny. You've got to catch yourself when you start speaking in ways that tear you down. The moment you hear yourself say, "I can't," replace it with, "I'm learning how." When you say, "I'm tired of trying," say instead, "I'm getting stronger every day." These small shifts may feel unnatural at first, but over time they become your new normal. And once you start consistently speaking blessings, your brain and spirit begin to believe it. The same way negative repetition programmed doubt into you, positive repetition will reprogram you for confidence and clarity. This is not about arrogance. This is about authority. You have the authority to speak over your life. You have the authority to create with your words. Don't waste that power. Use it. Every morning declare who you are becoming. Say it with conviction, even if your circumstances haven't caught up yet. Say it until you believe it. Say it until you see it. That's faith in action. And faith always moves things, even mountains. Look around at the people who are thriving. 9 times out of 10, they've mastered their inner voice. They've learned to speak with power and purpose even when no one else believes in them. They've learned that before you win in the world, you've got to win in your mind. And winning in your mind starts with what you speak. So speak growth, speak strength, speak healing, speak restoration, speak abundance, speak freedom, speak peace, speak love, speak purpose, speak victory. If you want to change your life, start with your mouth. Let your words align with the vision you have for your future, not the pain of your past. Speak blessings upon yourself daily. Speak them boldly, speak them faithfully, because when you start to speak like the person you're meant to be, your life begins to rise to meet your words. When you make the choice to speak blessings over yourself, something powerful begins to happen inside you. You stop waiting for other people to validate you. You stop needing applause or approval to feel worthy. You begin to understand that the most important voice in your life is your own. Self-blessing isn't just about saying nice things to yourself. It's about reprogramming your entire mindset from the inside out. It's about stepping into your own authority and claiming your identity, regardless of what the world says or doesn't say about you. It's deciding every single day that you will be your own biggest encourager, that you will not depend on others to see your value in order for you to walk in it. Think about it. How many people walk around defeated, not because of what's happening around them, but because of what they're telling themselves? They've been told they're not good enough, they failed a few times, and now they carry that narrative as their truth. They look in the mirror and see someone who isn't capable, someone who's just average, someone who will never measure up, and that story runs on repeat in their minds every single day. But when you begin to speak blessings, when you start replacing that old narrative with a new one, something begins to break. The chains of insecurity begin to loosen. The fog of self-doubt begins to lift. You start to see yourself not through the lens of your past, but through the lens of your potential. You have to learn to bless yourself in the silence. You have to learn to hype yourself up when nobody's clapping. You have to learn to look yourself in the eye and say, "I've got what it takes," even when you feel like you're falling apart. This kind of self-affirmation builds a foundation so strong that it cannot be shaken by outside circumstances. You begin to carry yourself differently. You walk into rooms with confidence, not because everyone knows your name, but because you know your own worth. That's the power of speaking blessings over your life. It creates an unshakable identity, one that doesn't rise and fall based on opinions or outcomes. People will come and go. Support will come and go. Opportunities will come and go. But if your confidence is rooted in how others see you, you'll be tossed around like the wind. You'll never feel stable. But if your confidence is rooted in what you've spoken over yourself, what you've declared in your quiet moments, then no storm can take that from you. Self-blessing becomes your anchor. It grounds you. It strengthens you. It reminds you who you are, even when everything around you tries to make you forget. Seeking blessings builds a habit of internal encouragement. It trains your mind to look for the good, to focus on the possible, to see opportunity where others see limitation. Instead of criticizing yourself, you begin to coach yourself. Instead of pointing out all your flaws, you start highlighting your progress. And as this becomes your daily habit, your inner strength starts to match your outer grind. You stop living in survival mode and start thriving from a place of inner peace and power. There's nothing arrogant about blessing yourself. In fact, it's one of the most humble and courageous things you can do, because when you bless yourself, you're not pretending to be perfect, you're declaring that you're growing. You're claiming what's already inside of you. You're agreeing with the higher version of yourself that knows you were made for more. You're aligning your words with your purpose. And that alignment creates momentum. It gives you clarity, it gives you fuel, it gives you direction. You can't build a powerful life on weak words. If your words are filled with fear, hesitation, and insecurity, your actions will follow suit. But if your words are filled with faith, boldness, and vision, your life will begin to mirror that strength. So speak blessings, not just when you feel good, but especially when you don't. Speak blessings when you're tired. Speak blessings when you failed. Speak blessings when it seems like nothing's working, because that's when you need it the most. Speak over your day before it begins. Speak over your goals before they happen. Speak over your healing while you're still hurting. Speak over your future even when your present feels uncertain. Every time you do, you're shaping your reality. You're building a life from the inside out. You're becoming your own source of strength. And in that strength, you'll find freedom, clarity, and a life that reflects the truth you've chosen to believe. You attract what you speak. It's not just a catchy phrase. It's a deep truth that governs so much of your life, whether you realize it or not. Your words are magnets. They carry energy. They set the tone for your day, your relationships, your mindset, and your outcomes. If you constantly speak negativity, doubt, and fear, then you start to live in a reality shaped by those very things. You see obstacles where others see opportunity. You expect things to go wrong. You draw situations to yourself that confirm what you've already said. But if you flip that mindset, if you start to speak life, speak strength, speak peace, you begin to attract all of those things as well. You start walking into situations expecting favor. You see doors opening where others see walls. You become a magnet for the blessings you've declared. So many people are stuck not because they lack talent or opportunity, but because their words are working against them. They want success, but they speak failure. They want peace, but they keep talking about chaos. They desire love, but all they do is repeat how lonely they are. It's like trying to plant a garden while pouring poison on the soil every single day. The ground doesn't care whether your words are intentional or careless. Whatever you plant, it grows. That's how powerful words are. And the scary part is, we often don't realize how we've been sabotaging ourselves with our own tongue. But the good news is this: just as negative words create toxic cycles, positive words can create powerful change. When you begin to speak blessings over yourself, when you start affirming that you are capable, valuable, deserving, and favored, you start attracting things that align with that identity. You start meeting people who respect you. You start seeing opportunities where others see setbacks, and you begin living with a sense of confidence and peace. And that shift doesn't happen because everything outside of you changes. It happens because your inner world shifts first and your outer world follows. This is why it's so important to be intentional with your self-talk. Don't just speak casually, speak deliberately. Speak as if your words are placing an order with your future, because in many ways they are. Say things like, I'm walking into favor, even when you haven't seen it yet. Say, I'm worthy of love, even when you feel rejected. Say, I'm becoming stronger, even when you feel weak. These words are not lies. They are seeds. And every time you repeat them, you're watering your future. There's a reason successful people, leaders, athletes, and high performers across the world use affirmations and declarations. It's not superstition, it's science and spirit working together. Your brain literally starts to align with what you say. You develop focus, motivation, and resilience based on the identity you reinforce daily. The more you say, I am confident, the more your body language, tone, and mindset reflect that. The more you say, I am disciplined, the more you find strength to stick to your goals. Your words create a gravitational pull, drawing your actions and outcomes toward what you've declared. You don't need to wait for proof to start speaking positively. You don't need to wait until you feel strong to start saying, I am strong. Speak it until your mind catches up. Speak it until your spirit believes it. Speak it until your life begins to mirror it. Too many people wait for life to get better before they change their language, but in truth, life gets better when you change your language first. Be mindful of your daily declarations. What are you saying about yourself? What are you saying about your future? What are you speaking over your children, your relationships, your finances, your health, If it's filled with fear, shame, or doubt, that's what you'll attract. But if it's filled with blessings, vision, and belief, you start to call those things into your experience. You start walking in alignment with your higher self. So take responsibility for your words. Speak blessings, not because everything is perfect, but because you're aligning yourself with possibility. Choose to say, I attract peace. I attract abundance. I attract growth. I attract healthy relationships. I attract success. I attract clarity. Keep repeating it. Keep believing it. Keep walking in it. And watch your world shift. You are a magnet. You attract what you speak. So speak wisely. Speak powerfully. Speak blessings upon yourself every day, and your life will begin to reflect every word you declare. Words are spiritual. They are not just sounds that come out of your mouth. They carry energy, intention, and unseen power. The universe responds to words. Your spirit responds to words. Even your future responds to words. That's why the practice of speaking blessings over yourself isn't just about motivation, it's about transformation. It's a spiritual principle that has been true since the beginning of time. Creation itself started with words. Let there be light, and light came into existence. That's not just a story, that's a blueprint. If you want to create something powerful in your life, it starts with what you say. You can pray all day, hope all day, and work hard every single day. But if your words are working against your prayers and dreams, you're canceling out your own progress. You can't say, I'm so unlucky, and expect favor. You can't declare nothing ever works for me and expect doors to open. You can't keep telling yourself I'll never be good enough and expect to reach the next level. That's spiritual conflict. You're praying for one thing but speaking something completely different. And whether you realize it or not, your spirit is always listening. So when you say something negative or limiting, even casually, it plants a spiritual seed. And if you say it enough times, it takes root. That's why you've got to become intentional about your speech. You have to speak blessings even when it feels awkward. You have to bless yourself when you don't feel like it. You have to speak life over your future even when everything around you looks dead. Because it's not about what you feel, it's about what you believe. And belief grows by repetition. When you speak blessings consistently, you're not just encouraging yourself, you're activating something supernatural. You are aligning your words with faith instead of fear, with purpose instead of pain. So there's a spiritual alignment that happens when your words match your vision. And that alignment brings peace. It brings clarity. It brings power. It's not magic, it's momentum. The more you speak blessings, the more your thoughts begin to shift. Your energy changes, your attitude improves. You start to expect good things. You stop bracing for failure and start believing for favor. Your spirit begins to rise to the level of the words you speak, and your actions begin to follow. This is why speaking life is not just a habit, it's a discipline. You have to do it on the days when it's the hardest. You have to speak blessings when your heart is heavy, when you're tired, when you're confused, when you feel invisible. That's when it matters the most. Anyone can speak positively when everything's going great, but it takes real spiritual maturity to declare, I am blessed, I am favored, I am chosen. When it looks like everything is falling apart, that kind of declaration isn't just self-talk. It's spiritual warfare. It's choosing faith over fear. It's choosing to declare the truth over your life instead of the temporary facts. There is power in your mouth. The same mouth that can speak curses can speak blessings. The same voice that has torn yourself down can now be used to build yourself up. And you don't have to wait for someone else to speak it over you. You have the authority, you have the right. You have the responsibility to speak over your own life. Your voice matters. What you say about yourself matters. Don't downplay it. Don't underestimate it. Don't delay it. Speak now. Speak boldly. Speak as if your life depends on it, because in many ways it does. This is not about being perfect. It's not about pretending everything is okay. It's about choosing the truth that you are more than your circumstances. It's about using your voice to rise, to declare, to break old chains and walk into new levels. It's about speaking not just from your pain, but from your purpose. Every time you speak a blessing, you're reclaiming your power. You're aligning your soul with your assignment. You're calling yourself higher. And even if nothing changes overnight, something always shifts inside of you. That shift becomes the spark. And that spark lights the fire that will eventually change everything. So don't wait for someone else to bless you. Speak it over yourself. Speak healing, speak hope, speak strength, speak love, speak restoration, speak peace. Speak breakthrough, and do it daily. Do it out loud. Do it with conviction, because the words you speak don't just stay in the air. They go into your future. They shape your reality. They carry power. They carry purpose. And when you use them the right way, they will carry you to a life you never thought was possible. You've been through storms, pain, heartbreak, disappointment, and somewhere along the line you started believing the lies those moments whispered to you. You began to internalize the failure. You let the setbacks redefine your identity, and slowly, without realizing it, you stopped speaking life. You stopped expecting good things. You stopped believing in yourself. You started repeating the same toxic patterns, and those patterns became your prison. But what if I told you that the key to unlocking that prison is already in your mouth? What if the one thing standing between where you are and where you want to be is your own voice? Because here's the truth. Positive declarations can break negative cycles. When you speak blessings over yourself, it's more than motivation, it's reprogramming. You've got to understand how deep the damage from negative self-talk runs. It's not just about words, it's about identity. Every time you said, "I'm not good enough," you weren't just venting, you were reinforcing a belief. Every time you told yourself, "I always mess things up," you weren't just expressing frustration, you were cementing a false truth. And over time, those words created patterns. Those patterns created behavior, and that behavior shaped your life. But just as those negative cycles were formed through repetition, they can be broken with a new kind of repetition, a pattern of speaking blessings. The moment you say, "I am not who I used to be," something begins to crack. The moment you speak, "I deserve better," walls begin to fall. The moment you declare, "I am healing," your body, your mind, and your spirit align with that vision. The power of a declaration is that it doesn't wait for the evidence. It creates the evidence. You're not waiting to feel strong. You're declaring your strength into existence. You're not waiting to feel confident. You're deciding that confidence belongs to you now. And the more you do that, the more the old stories lose their grip on your life. Most people don't realize that their inner world is on a loop. They keep replaying the same script that someone else wrote for them. Scripts of shame, fear, limitation, rejection. Maybe a parent said it, maybe a teacher spoke it, maybe life screamed it. And you didn't just hear it, you repeated it. You adopted it. And now you live by it. But today you get to write a new script. You get to take your power back. You get to say that that cycle ends with me. That's the power of speaking blessings. It interrupts what was and introduces what will be. Positive declarations are not wishful thinking. They're spiritual recalibrations. Every time you say, "I am worthy," you're fighting against decades of low self-esteem. Every time you say, "I am enough," you're silencing the voice of comparison. Every time you say, "I am focused," you're training your mind to let go of distraction and move with purpose. This is not hype. This is healing. This is how you take control of your life without waiting for your circumstances to change first. You've got to speak it when it's hard. You've got to declare it when it feels untrue. Because every time you do, you're loosening the grip of the old cycle. You're tearing down the lies brick by brick. You're creating new grooves in your brain, new patterns in your thinking, new energy in your spirit. And that kind of consistency will always lead to change. It may not be dramatic at first, but it will be undeniable. You'll start making different decisions. You'll walk into rooms differently. You'll set better boundaries. You'll stop tolerating what doesn't align with your purpose. That's what happens when you shift your language, you shift your life. No one else is responsible for breaking your cycle. People can love you, they can support you, they can believe in you, but if you keep speaking death over yourself, nothing changes. The breakthrough begins when you open your mouth and speak what you want to see. Speak it in the morning. Speak it in the middle of a breakdown. Speak it when you're tempted to give up. Say things like, "I am growing, I am being restored, I am rising," even if you don't feel it yet. Feelings will catch up. Results will show up, but it starts with what you speak. So if you're tired of the same cycle, if you're ready to stop reliving the same pain, the same story, the same disappointment, start declaring something different. Break the pattern with your words. Speak blessings over your future. Speak love over your heart. Speak focus over your mind. Speak power over your soul. You don't have to stay trapped in the old narrative. Write a new one with your voice. Speak until you see it. Speak until you feel it. Speak until you live it. because positive declarations are the key that unlocks the chains. And once you start speaking life, you'll never go back. Life doesn't always go the way you planned. You'll face setbacks, rejection, confusion, and moments where nothing makes sense. And in those times, it's easy to shut down. It's easy to stop believing, stop trying, and stop hoping. But this is where speaking blessings becomes your lifeline. Because when the world gets dark, when your vision is clouded, when your strength is fading, your words can still lead you. When everything around you is falling apart, your voice becomes your anchor. Speaking life fuels your resilience and renews your vision, even when your circumstances are screaming the opposite. Some days you won't feel strong. Some days you won't feel motivated. Some days it will seem like all your effort is going unnoticed. But that's when you need to open your mouth and remind yourself who you are. That's when you declare, I am still standing, I am built for this, I am moving forward. You're not doing it because it feels good, you're doing it because it's necessary. It's what keeps you from collapsing under the weight of disappointment. It's what keeps your heart beating with hope when everything says give up. You see, life will try to silence you. The pain will try to mute your purpose. Failure will try to shut your mouth. But when you speak blessings in those moments, when you declare light in the dark, you're telling life it doesn't get the final say. You're choosing faith over fear. You're choosing strength over surrender. You're choosing progress over paralysis. Speaking blessings becomes your rumoring against hopelessness. It's you refusing to let the season you're in define the story you're writing. Resilience isn't about pretending everything is okay. It's about rising anyway. It's about speaking words that pull you forward instead of letting your situation pull you down. When you declare, this is not the end of my story, you give yourself permission to keep going. You give your future permission to live. You ignite something inside you that pushes back against the pressure. That's why your words matter more in your low moments than your high ones. In the highs, you celebrate. In the lows, you survive. And often it's your speech that determines which one you'll do. And let's talk about vision. The road to your goals is never a straight line. Things take longer than you expect. People disappoint you. Plans fall apart. You can lose sight of where you're going. And when that happens, you need more than motivation. You need language. You need words that lift your eyes from what you see to what you believe. You need to speak the future into the present. Say things like, I'm walking into a new season. I'm becoming more focused. My vision is getting clearer even when things around you are messy. Because your words keep your purpose in focus when life tries to blur it out. Your voice is your compass. When you can't see the path, your words can still point the way. When you feel stuck, your declarations can keep you moving. And this isn't just about emotions, it's about alignment. Every time you speak life, you align yourself with the version of you that's not bound by fear. You align with the version of you that keeps showing up, keeps pressing forward, keeps trusting the process. And the more you speak like that person, the more you become that person. There will always be a reason to doubt. There will always be moments that make you question if it's worth it. But if you've got the strength to speak blessings over yourself in those moments, you've got the strength to keep climbing. Don't wait for the storm to pass before you start speaking life. Do it in the middle of the storm. Declare peace when your heart is racing. Declare healing while the pain is still present. Declare growth while you're still in the dirt. That's real resilience. That's real power. Your words are not just about today, they're about your future. They set the direction for where you're going. And even if nobody else hears them, you do. Your spirit does, heaven does. The atmosphere around you shifts when you speak life. You might not feel it right away, but something is happening. Something is building. Something is changing. So don't stop. Don't give in to silence. Don't let hardship steal your voice. Use your words as fuel. Use your declarations as strength. Speak what you need. Speak what you believe. Speak what you're working toward. Because in your lowest moments, your voice will be your power. Your blessings will be your breakthrough. And your words will carry you until your reality catches up with your faith. Keep speaking. Keep believing. Keep moving. You've been given a voice for a reason, not just to communicate with others, but to shape your own reality. There's a reason why your words matter more than anyone else's. It's because you hear them the most. You live with them, you think with them. They're the background music to every decision you make, every risk you take, every dream you chase. And that's why learning to speak blessings over yourself daily, boldly, and intentionally can change your entire life. It's not just about self-talk, it's about self-creation. The moment you begin to speak like the person you're meant to be, your life starts to rise to match those words. Too many people wait to become successful before they speak like they are. They wait to feel confident before they talk like they believe in themselves. But that's not how it works. Confidence is not a feeling, it's a choice. And it's a choice that begins with language. The more you say, I am capable, the more your thoughts begin to align with that belief. The more you say, I have value, the more your spirit begins to operate from a place of worth, not insecurity. And eventually your actions begin to flow out of that truth. You move different. You show up different. You live different. You can't wait for your circumstances to shift before you change your speech. Your circumstances often follow your words, not the other way around. When you declare, I'm rising, while you're still stuck, you're not lying, you're leading. You're leading yourself out of stagnation, out of fear, out of confusion. And with every word, you're setting a new standard for how you live. People often ask, how do I change my life? One word at a time, one declaration at a time, one blessing spoken over your heart, your mind, and your future day after day until it takes root. This is what growth looks like. Not loud announcements to the world, but quiet moments where you choose to speak something better into your life. You choose to bless your future with words of faith even when the evidence isn't there yet.